Hi everyone, so today I want to talk about something that I've made videos about before, but it seems like those that aren't in the Tourette Syndrome community just maybe don't get it or they don't care, and it's starting to get really frustrating because you feel like you make all this progress when you spread awareness about Tourette Syndrome and you educate people about Tourette Syndrome, but then you continue to see the same remarks on everything. And I know we can't change everybody's opinion, you can't teach everybody with a few videos, but the issue is that I'm seeing it more often now. Within the last just couple weeks, I have seen videos or I've seen it in writing where somebody is telling somebody that they must have had, it's like they had Tourette syndrome because they just say whatever's on their mind, or you had Tourette's, it's like you have Tourette syndrome because you just blurt out anything whenever you want to say it. And I'm sorry, but it makes me mad. Most of the time I can let it roll off my back because I get it. Not everybody understands what Tourette syndrome actually is. They don't understand what kind of things people go through that do actually have coprolalia, which I might be saying that wrong and I apologize if I am. I have a hard time pronouncing that. But those that actually have it can tell you that it's not as funny and it's not an excuse either for what they do. They never know what's gonna come out of their mouth, let alone what their bodies are gonna do. And when you're not somebody that lives with Tourette syndrome, you have no idea what it's like and you have no ground to speak about it, make fun of it, or joke about it. All you do I'm fired up about it today. All you do when you make those comments is perpetuate the jokes. You perpetuate people not understanding or only want to believe that Tourette syndrome is real when it benefits them, when they can laugh about it. Saying something that he must have Tourette's because he can't control what comes out of or he just says whatever's on his mind, makes it seem like that's what we do. That makes it seem that that's what our disorder is, and it's not. We don't just think of something, we say it just because we want to. They say it because they can't help it, and it's not just something about someone or something specific. Yeah, you can be triggered by seeing something or someone, and that's what's awful about it too. You saying stuff like that only hurts us in the long run. You make us take 20 steps back in the education and the awareness field about Tourette syndrome by making these comments, and I don't think people understand how hurtful that is and how upsetting it can be for somebody like me, especially somebody that does have swearing tics or saying words over and over and over again. I only have some small vocal tics, and it still makes me so mad, as I'm sure you can tell from this video, because I'm a lot more fired up than I normally am. But it's so frustrating to see your disorder be used as a line for somebody doing something inappropriate, or your disorder used as the next punchline or joke in a movie. And then when you turn around and try to tell people what it really is, or if you have a version of it that they don't see on television, that they don't accept as real, it makes it even harder for us to be taken seriously. I've been told that I don't have Tourette syndrome because I don't swear, or that I'd be more entertaining if I swore. I've been told that it's not that bad to live with, so it doesn't deserve awareness. I've been told all kinds of things, and so many other people in the Tourette syndrome community have been told even worse things. They've been kicked out of stores, they've been kicked out of movie theaters, they've been kicked out of public places because people don't think that that's really what Tourette syndrome is. They think it's the funny thing they see on television. They think it's these lines that they hear on television that people are using and saying, oh, well, they must have Tourette's because they just kind of say whatever they want. That's not funny, and it's not true. And I get it, people make fun of everything, but at what point are people in the Tourette syndrome community allowed to be mad about that? At what point are we allowed to try and force this mental change for everyone so they start understanding that this disease, or I'm sorry, it's not a disease, that this disorder is hard. You don't know, not knowing what your body is going to do every single day of your life is utterly exhausting. Then to turn on the television and see that you're the punchline of all of these jokes and movies, yeah, maybe it's not that many, but even just one perpetuates just this joke, this stigma that we're just something to laugh at. We're not something to be taken seriously. We're not real people. This disease this disorder, I don't know why I keep saying disease. It's a disorder, a neurological disorder, for those of you watching that don't know what Tourette syndrome actually is. We're just not to be taken seriously. We don't have enough presence in the media and everything being shown correctly, because when you hear about it being talked in the media, it's lines like that. I've heard it twice in the past month that people are making comments like that in media, in hearings and everything else. And that's why I get so fired up, because it's been back to back. Most of the time I can let it roll off my back because I know everybody makes fun of everything, but the fact is that our disorder gets made fun of, but yet then it's not actually shown, light's not actually shown on it to show what it really is at the same time. That, in my opinion, would be different, because then people could at least see both sides. Yeah, if you want to laugh at it, whatever. Don't get me wrong, I have laughed off some of my tics before too. Sometimes you can find humor in it. That's what's gonna get you through all of this stuff that your body does. Yeah, if you're using humor, that's fine. I get that. I 100% get that. People watching my videos know that I am generally positive about this, as positive as I can be. But the difference is that that's mostly all the television shows. It doesn't actually portray us as we really are, as we're humans. It doesn't portray like levels or anything else. We don't have those portrayals in television. And yeah, I'm hoping one day we do have more. There's a couple, don't get me wrong, there are a few, and I am thankful for them. They make me emotional when I watch them, because it's nice to see somebody actually like me on the television screen and not somebody making fun of somebody like me. That's where it gets tiring. That's where it gets frustrating, and I'm just begging everyone that's not in the Tourette Syndrome community to educate one other person. If you hear them making those comments, if you see those comments being made, step up and say, like, that's actually not true, or it's actually more than that, or those that are living with that, it's actually really difficult and it's not a joke, and people go through a really hard time. Because I promise you, you not having control of your body is a lot harder than you think it is. It's easy to try and think and empathize, and empathizing and trying to do that, that's amazing, that's wonderful. I hope you do that. But until you're living with it, you don't truly understand, and that's where I'm coming at, because you don't get to make those comments if you're not even close to the situation. So I'm just begging people outside of the Tourette Syndrome community to start actually caring about those of us in the Tourette Syndrome community, because we're tired of being your joke. We're tired of being the excuse in somebody's, to get away with something that somebody said and make the joke so it just kind of goes away, because it's not okay to say those things. And I'm just tired of it when it comes down to it. And I apologize that this video was fired up, but I can't help it, because maybe we need to get more fired up. Maybe that's what it's gonna take. And if that's what it's gonna take, then that's what I will do. I'm just begging all of you to learn something about Tourette Syndrome. Not just me. There are so many amazing people and advocates for Tourette Syndrome out there. There's a Tourette Syndrome Association of America. There's chapters in almost every state for the association. There's advocates of all levels of severity for Tourette Syndrome. Not just mine. I have a mild case. Go learn from somebody that has it worse than I do, so you can see just how bad this disorder can be for somebody. Learn about it, and please, please stop making the jokes so that we can one day be taken seriously. And when we tell somebody in public, oh, well, I have Tourette Syndrome, they can just walk away, rather than try to tell that person what Tourette Syndrome actually is when they're not the ones living with it, because that doesn't make any sense. So yeah, that's all I wanted to get on here and say today. I felt very compelled to make this video. I did a couple weeks ago, and then I read something this morning about Tourette's being used in that way by somebody saying you must have Tourette's this morning. And so I wanted to make this video because it's an important topic, and I made a video about it before, but maybe it's gonna take a few of them, and if that's what it takes, then that's what I'll keep doing. I will talk to you guys later. I'm sure the next video won't be quite as fired up, but I hope you guys learn something. I hope you guys go out and try to find more information about Tourette Syndrome if you're not the ones living with it. And I encourage all of you to learn about it and help us stop being a joke to everybody around. I will see you guys later.